no one is capable of even helping you. And I don't say this to discourage you. I say this to actually empower you. But there's nothing a guru, a therapist, there's no line that you're going to hear that's going to magically change everything for you. There's nothing that can be done because nobody knows what you've been through. Nobody knows the exact experiences, feelings, emotions that you've had that have led you to where you are right now. The only person who knows that and has access to that information is you. Now, the thing that you can do is you can go to therapy and you can have these people kind of help bring that out of you. That's really all a therapist does. They're not gonna like change anything. They're just gonna help bring that truth out of you so then they can kind of move forward. But the best thing you can do is just learn how to sit with your feelings and sit with your emotions and sit with yourself distraction free, right? So learn how to have that time where you're not consuming substances always, because that masks those things and distracts us from it. But it could also be your phone. I mean, I know a lot of people say they're sober and it's like, so they have this weird sense of like enlightenment or whatever, but they're constantly on their phone. They're constantly doing things, going to the gym always. They're never learning how to sit with themselves. And that's where the answer is. But it's also important to not be like logically looking for an answer. Like words are never gonna do it. And I know that might be confusing because most of the time the answer, the solution to the thing is like, here's how you do it, here are the steps to do it. You're looking for a logical solution to an emotional problem. So that's never gonna work. It's never going to, you can help to explain those things after. But the act of articulating something and explaining it and having to make basically like a middleman isn't necessary with yourself. It's not. You only have to do that to communicate with other people. And all it's doing is muddying the waters, right? The real answer is sit with your emotions, sit with your negative feelings, your negative emotions, and the things that will be revealed to you about yourself. I mean, it's not a solution that you'll find. You won't find like, here's my problem and here's what I have to do about it. It's like you will start to realize like, oh, that's why I feel that way all the time, and that's what led me to feel that way. And actually, that thing my mother said when I was 6 years old has, changed my life forever. This, friend that I had when I was a young age who made me feel insecure about this thing, and that's been, ruining my life emotionally ever since. And you might not know what to do right away, and that's fine. That's fine. That's not what we're doing. We're not trying to find the exact solution. We're just trying to identify why you are the way that you are and what led you here. And I don't even want to say like what your problem is, because it's just like that's just reinforcing a negative idea and an outlook on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You don't have problems. You're a human being. And life is hard and traumatic, and we all have traumas. We think of certain things. We think of trauma as like, oh, you were R-worded or whatever. I want to keep this YouTube friendly, but we think of these very dramatic things. But dramatic. But really, we all have traumas. We all go through life experiencing things and having emotions and not really giving ourselves the time to process those things. And so there's nothing you can, of course there's all kinds of healthy things you can do to cope with your emotions, exercise and, socializing, all these things. But at the end of the day, these things are distractions from the real necessary, shitty thing you have to do, which is learning how to sit there without distraction and following those emotions to their conclusions and understanding yourself, not sitting there and critiquing yourself and I really should be doing this and I should be doing that, and that's just going to lead to more self-deprecation and suffering and looking at yourself in a negative way. You deserve sympathy, you deserve love, you're a human being, and life is difficult, and I don't know what you've been through. Again, I don't have access to that information, but I know that you're struggling in certain ways, and so am I. We all are. And the only person who you want forgiveness from is yourself. The only person who can even understand what you've been through and why you are the way you are is yourself. So stop looking for the answer in a YouTube video, which is kind of ironic that I'm doing that here. But again, I'm not giving you the answer. I'm just saying that, the answer isn't here. The answer's in you. And if you learn to sit with yourself every day for long enough and to have the courage and the strength to confront those emotions, those painful, horrible emotions. I mean, it's the only way to understand it. I mean, the best analogy I can think of is it's like, we don't want to go through the storm, and so we turn around every time, and we don't realize that going through that storm is how you actually get to the island that you want to be at, which has coconuts and beautiful weather and all that kind of stuff. Paradise, if you will. The only way to get there is to go through the storm, and we see that storm and it's scary, and we don't have the courage. We think we don't have the courage or the strength to go through it, and we don't realize that weathering that storm is the only actual way to get to where you want to be. And that doesn't mean you have to do work, and you have to. It's like the one weird thing where it's like you don't have to be productive in any kind of classical way. It's actually kind of easy in the sense of like sit there and do nothing. But sitting there and doing nothing and actually feeling our emotions is one of the most difficult things and one of the most courageous things you can do. So that's it for today. Expect more videos from me. I don't know what the topics will always be, but if you enjoyed this video, of course, you know what to do. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and send this video to your aunt, because, yeah. I don't know how to end the video, but anyways, I hope you got value out of this, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Bye!